Alex Jones' empire may be in trouble for real now. This is a fascinating story. So Law and Crime says this. Judge grants Sandy Hook families access to InfoWars internal documents in suit against Alex Jones. What? Okay. Let me just give you the first bit of what they say here, and then we'll discuss. As part of their defamation lawsuit against InfoWars founder and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, 6 families of Sandy Hook mass shooting victims will get to look at InfoWars' sensitive internal information. A Connecticut judge ruled on Friday that the plaintiffs can access Jones' internal marketing and financial documents, according to ABC News. That's not all. There will be a hearing next week to determine if Jones will have to sit for a deposition. Okay, so let me explain this. First of all, I've spoken about this before, and we'll find out if I'm wrong, but honestly, my guess is he'll be found not guilty on defamation. Because even though we all agree it is insanely gross what he said and did in regards to Sandy Hook and what he does with all these shootings, how immediately he acts like it's a false flag and it's a conspiracy theory and the government's behind it and they're doing it because they want to take your guns. Hey, dude, they didn't take the guns. Like, he said this about every shooting under Obama, and the main argument was, we know this is a false flag and Obama's going to use it to try to come take your guns. They didn't do it. So the main thing that they look for when there's a crime is what? Motive. If you can't establish motive, you're asked out. So his whole motive for Obama allegedly staging these shootings was he's going to take the guns. But he didn't take them. So your whole theory falls apart. And by the way, the strongest proposals that they put out there was like a universal background check bill, a ban on high-capacity magazines, and the strongest was a ban on assault weapons, which, by the way, still leaves all shotguns, all rifles, and pistols. So that's not, like, even the strongest proposal is not that strong. So he's just wrong. But, yeah, he would talk about how, yeah, they're crisis actors, and these parents didn't really lose kids, and, hey, look at this video proves it because this guy smiles when he shouldn't be smiling. All shit like that, and it's all disgusting and gross. But my point was, from a legal perspective, I don't think it's against the law. Because in order for somebody to be guilty of libel or slander or defamation, it has to be so specific, and they have to be able to prove damages and link it to what the person said. And, you know, you could argue that there were people who are insane conspiracy theorists who harassed the parents of the Sandy Hook shooting victims. But what I'm sure Jones's response will be is, and his lawyer, I never said go to their houses. I never even said their names. So how can you come after me when I didn't give anybody marching orders? I was just talking about the general idea of a conspiracy. Are you going to make it illegal to talk about the general idea of a conspiracy, no matter how sensitive the information? And I honestly think that argument is going to win out legally. Because, again, people don't understand how, when it comes to free speech cases, the evidence has to be so overwhelming and it has to be so specific. So even if you disagree with the outcome of that, I think that that's what the outcome's going to be on the defamation front. I think he's going to be found not guilty on that front. So that's the first point. But the second point is this, and here's why this story is super noteworthy. Now, maybe I'm wrong about the defamation thing, and we'll see. I could be wrong, and maybe he's found guilty, and then there are consequences for what he said. We will find out. But this is like the real deal Holyfield here. What they just are allowed to do. You know, this is like with Mueller when he's like, we're looking for treason and to see if President Trump is Vladimir Putin's puppet. I said up front, that's not going to happen. You're not going to prove that. That's honestly a little silly that you even think it's in the realm of possibility. But then as soon as Mueller expanded the investigation to, we're going to look at all of Donald Trump's shady business practices, I said, now there's a there, and he's in fucking trouble. Watch. It's a similar thing here. On the defamation alone, I don't think you're going to get him. But if you get to see all of InfoWars' internal financial documents, what? They could be in trouble. Because, and I've said it before, David Pakman's pointed this out before, among many other people. Alex Jones is a fucking supplement salesman. He sells supplements. Now, there is no doubt you have hours of footage of him doing, like, commercials, basically, for these different supplements he sells. spewing bullshit 9 ways to Sunday about what the different pills and whatever, vitamins and shit, what they, like how good they are for you and the effects they have. And basically, guys, there's a decent chance that he's committed fraud when he's selling this product, saying it's great for reasons X, Y, and Z. And of course, there's no evidence that it does X, Y, and Z, and it doesn't do X, Y, and Z. I mean, he's been getting away with these, like, semi-scam things for a long time, but now the chickens might be coming home to roost, because if they get access to his financial documents, that's a whole nother ballgame, man. And you could have I don't know the rules in terms of how that could snowball into other cases that get to branch off of the defamation case, and because you're going to unearth new material, and then there's stuff that there's an actual question as to the legality of it. I will be very curious to see how this unfolds. Because also, Jones was effectively given the internet death penalty from all the social media sites. Now, by the way, I'm against that. I don't think they should have done that, but he was kicked off of Twitter, kicked off of, YouTube, among others. So, but that was a big part of his business that just went away overnight. And I think there was like collusion between the different social media sites. But then now I think the last leg he's standing on is his own stuff that he sells. And if a lot of that stuff, like the supplements, are questionable legally and can legit be potential fraud, well, then he's in trouble. I'm sure the last thing Jones wants to do is show his internal marketing and financial documents. And now apparently he has to do it according to the orders of a judge. So we'll see what happens. I honestly think he'll get away in the defamation case. I could be wrong, but we'll see. And if he's wrong, I'll be the first one to come out here and say, I was wrong on that. I'll be the first one to say it. So we'll see what happens on that. But I think there's a lot more there when you start looking at his financial documents for InfoWars. So look out.